The Emerald Knight, Chapter 20. Oh no. Clint stared into his teacup. Sometimes it eats off the flesh like that, sometimes it just hurts a little, and sometimes it does nothing at all. I should have warned you. It isn't your fault, Clint, Ari assured him and took a sip from her own cup. I should have been more careful. I knew it was sacred. I shouldn't have touched it. All the legends say that only those with a pure heart may touch the sacred sword. I must have a great deal of darkness in my heart. Theseus did not find me worthy. You know what I think it is? Cithril smirked as she sat a platter of cakes on the table. No, Granny. Ari rolled her eyes as if she was uninterested in her grandmother's assessment. Too many impure thoughts about the chosen one. Cithril laughed as Ari's face heated and her eyes narrowed. Clint's eyes shot up from his cup, and he felt the blood pool in his face. He hoped that no one noticed, but knew that everyone did. Granny! Ari hissed, but the old woman continued. Girl's always been talking about you, boy. She laughed and slapped Clint on the shoulder, careful to avoid the blade. Men what, 7 years? Don't get too many good-looking young men out here, I suppose. Oh my God, Ari hissed and set her cup down with much more force than necessary. I think I smell something burning. She hopped up quickly and stormed to the kitchen. I really am sorry, Clint told the old woman, then looked to the groomsmen and repeated it. That sword took a real shine to you, did it? The old man asked, packing down his pipe. I guess, Clint sighed. I mean, it doesn't dissolve my hand or anything. Clint is exceptionally skilled with a blade, Ruvian explained. We would be lucky to have him even if he did not wield a legend. Well, the old man struck a match, inhaled, held the smoke for a beat, and blew it out. I guess that's something, ain't it? I figured the boy never was much for farming. Good with horses, though. Figured he might get on at a stable. He's little, but he's good and strong, ain't you, boy? Animals like me, Clint shrugged. I still like horses. The queen gave me a war horse. I mean, not because I'm special or anything. Everybody who trains under the guards gets a horse. But she's a good horse. I like her. She knows a lot of stories because some of her friends have gone to war. A good horse is worth more than any weapon in a war, I'd reckon. The old man agreed, and took another long draw from his pipe before casually asking, So, how's your love life? Clint took a drink of the rapidly cooling tea and sighed. Every time he had met this man, even as a toddler, he had asked him this question, and he had built up an immunity to the embarrassment it had once caused him, and taken to answering him honestly. I still don't have one. But you got all that money now. The old man seemed amazed at Clint's romantic ineptitude, but the boy just shrugged. I know. You know I'm not good at socialness, Clint trailed off. Maybe don't burn off their hands, the old man suggested, not unkindly. He seemed to think he was giving genuine advice. Yeah, Clint agreed. Boy's too backwards, the man told Ruvian. I figured he'd come out of that once he's grown. I agree, Ruvian replied, and Clint took another drink of his tea. I'm really sorry, he said again. What'd you bring all them soldiers for? The old man asked, gesturing with the pipe to the sofa where the troops sat in the lobby. They make you do that? Were you not now? Xandra said I should. Clint shrugged again. You eat them cakes, boy. Slithril produced a plate and began piling cakes onto it, then sat it in front of Clint. I don't know how you got so skinny eating at the castle, but you're letting them starve you. I'm not skinny, Clint sighed. I'm wearing padding. There's no way you could think I wasn't eating. But he broke one of the cakes in half and stuffed one into his mouth. Ruvian silently noted that it was the most he had ever seen him eat in one bite. It's your poor face, the woman explained. I can see the bones. I think, Clint said as he swallowed, that just happens when you get older. Baby fat, I think. He took a sip of his tea and finished the first cake in the next bite. It didn't happen to me, she laughed, and Clint smiled. Now, not everybody can have them titties. The old man laughed, and Clint choked. You killed the boy, his wife accused. Clint coughed, sipped his tea, and swallowed before replying, No, I've around the nobility for so long, and they have all these rules about what you can say, and I get executed or whipped or something if I said something like that. That's a shame. The old man blew a thin cloud of smoke. It really is. Clint agreed, staring into his cup, trying to imagine what Xander's reaction would be if he ever uttered something so lewd around her. He would never be bold enough to try. He would never have that kind of intimacy, the shared jokes, the crude sense of humor. They would never be a couple, and a little distance made that fact more obvious. She couldn't love him, not because she didn't want to, but because they were from two different worlds. He would never be a noble, no matter how many classes she had him take or what fancy clothes she put on him. He was just a little boy playing dress up, and she was a queen. He wondered what would happen to him when she grew tired of putting up with him and began to break the cake he didn't remember picking up into smaller and smaller pieces. "Quit that, Clint!" Slithrill told him in the voice of one scolding a child, and he stopped instantly. "Eat it! Don't play with your food!" "I'm sorry," he said before he took a bite. "I figured he'd grow out of that," she told Ruvian. "As a young'un, getting this to eat was like pulling teeth. I eat, I swear." Clem was getting exasperated. "Reuven, tell her I eat." "At breakfast he did that too," Ruvian betrayed. "It's strange. He turns any sort of bread into crumbs." "I do not!" Clem muttered as he tore off tiny pieces of the cake. "That tea ain't gonna cut it." The old man gestured to Clem with his pipe. "Get that boy a real drink." "I'm fine," Clem sighed. "You know, boy," the old man took another puff, "I can see a whole lot of Ravio in you." "Thank you." Clem put one of the crumbs he had pulled off into his mouth. "But now I can see a whole lot of your ma in there, too. You got her face, I think. Them weird eyes and the same shape." He leaned in to get a better look at him. "I wouldn't know." Clem shrugged and put another crumb on his tongue. "Now, Angie was a water elf, you know," the old man told Ruvian. "Didn't nobody think Ravio could put a baby in her?" "Can we not talk about this?" Clint asked. "I don't want to hear about how I killed my mother. Please." "Your mother was a water elf?" Ruvian asked with a calm he did not feel. "Now where you think he got them baby blues?" the old man asked. "Before he settled down, Ravio used to do a lot of traveling. Hell, he still kept two places and went back and forth till the day he died. One time he come back with the most charming little thing you ever did see. Blue as the summer sky and big as a whale. We didn't figure the young'un was his, but you look at that boy and tell me if he ain't the daddy." "That's impossible." Ruvian was careful not to look at Clint as he spoke, but to his surprise, the boy spoke up. "They say it's what killed her," he said, watching himself pick at the seam of his glove. "Carrying an earth elf. It was against her element, and it was too much. The magic was too different, and it had to choose. The mother or the baby. It chose wrong." He sighed and stood. Thank you for the food, but we really should be getting to the temple. This isn't a social call. I'm here on royal business." "Clint," the old woman said gently and placed her arm lightly on his forearm. She shot the old man a dirty look and asked, "The hell is wrong with you? Why did you bring that up?" "Folks ought to know," the man shrugged. "That boy's special. That shit don't just happen for no reason." "Everything happens for no reason." Clint sighed and looked to the kitchen door. "Please tell Ari how sorry I am about her hand. He reached up and took the set of blue hoops the man had admired out of his ears. They had been a gift from Xandra, but she would understand. She would have to. She probably didn't expect much from him anyway. He set them on the table in front of Slithriel. "It's not much, but give her those if you don't mind, as an apology. The queen gave them to me, so I assume they're pretty expensive." "Clint, it was an accident," the old woman protested, but he shook his head. "Ruvian," he said instead, doing his best to sound official. "Ready our troop. We're heading out."